God, what is my problem? Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my best in beauty for 2017. At first I wasn't sure if I was going to do a best in beauty for 2017 because I always thought those videos were made up of products that were just released in 2017. And honestly, looking through my makeup collection, I have no idea what was released in 2017, and some of my favorite products that I'm using right now were released years ago. But then I saw some other YouTubers titling the video most used makeup of 2017 or favorites from 2017. So that's the kind of video that I'm going to do today. So I'm looking at this as more of like a beauty time capsule, like these are my most used products as of the end of 2017. And if my channel is still around at the end of 2018, I am very interested to see how my taste will change over the course of a year, and if there's any products that will stand the test of time over the next 12 months. So we have tons of products to go through, so I don't want to waste too much time on this intro. If you want to see all of my most used and favorite products from 2017, keep watching. Alright, so I thought this video was going to be really difficult to put together because I'm like, oh, how am I going to choose my favorite products of 2017? But it was actually really easy because these are all of the products that I reach for on a daily basis. Whenever I'm putting my makeup together, these are the #1 things that I'll reach for. When I'm doing my makeup on a daily basis, I don't tend to experiment a lot. I don't tend to reach for products that I've only tried once or twice because when I'm getting ready in the morning, I want it to be a quick and painless process. So I grab for products that I know are going to work for me. So you're going to be seeing all of those products in this video, and these are all of my most used products from 2017. So let's start with primer. The first primer that I have here is the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Luminizer Primer. I really like this primer because it is such a great combination of blurring my pores and sort of smoothing out my skin, as well as making my skin feel moisturized and feeling like it has some luminosity to it. I find for my skin tone, it's really difficult to find good primers because I'm super dry on the cheeks, I'm oily in the T-zone, I have pores to contend with, I have texture, I need luminosity, I don't like looking like I have dull skin, so it can be really difficult to find primers that can like combat all of those things. But this primer has actually worked really, really well for me. I have been using some different primers lately just to try some new ones out, but for the most part, if I want to reach for a good primer that I know is going to work for me, this Dr. Brandt Pores No More is definitely one of them. The next primer that I've been using a ton recently is this one. This is the POREfessional. I love this primer. It's been around forever, but it is so good for blurring and minimizing pores. I really like to use this primer in combination with this one, and this is the Fab Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. So this one is really good to use sort of on the outer perimeters of my face and on my cheeks, and I really like to use this one in the T-zone. I find that with these primers, I can't use this one all over my face and I can't use this one in my T-zone, but they do work really well together. So these are definitely some of my favorites from 2017. And then the last primer that is my favorite and most used of 2017 is this one. This is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. This was honestly the only primer I had in my collection for the first 5 months of 2017. I didn't even try different primers because this one worked for me so well that I just loved it and I didn't want to try anything else. Once I started branching out and trying different primers in my quest for like a holy grail face, I moved a little bit away from this one, but that's only because I bought so many new products. And then when I did my Sephora VIB Rouge purchase, I thought to myself, you know, I need to get some more of that Becca primer. I love it so much, and I'm happy that I did because even going back to it after a break from a couple of months, it works so well. So what I have been using the most lately is wearing this sort of all over the face and then going in with POREfessional in the T-zone as well. I find that these two have also worked really well together. This one really adheres the makeup to my face but doesn't make me feel like it's sucking all of the moisture out of my skin. And I do feel like it has a really, really nice subtle luminosity. So I've tried some other primers that have some like gold glitters and gold flakes in them, and those I don't love because they're just, it's glitter, it's not luminosity. I feel like this has like a really beautiful natural pearl sheen to it, and I think it looks really beautiful on the skin. So if you have combination skin and you're suffering from a little bit of dullness and you want a primer that's gonna bring some luminosity to your face without adding a whole bunch of glitter or anything like that, I would highly recommend this. This is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. Now when it comes to foundations, I feel like I have tried so many foundations in 2017. I feel like I've run the entire gamut of the high-end foundations at Sephora. I've tried a whole bunch from the drugstore, and my skin is so finicky, so it's really really hard for me to find a foundation that looks good on me, but these two foundations are my total holy grail ride or die most used from 2017. The first is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Matte Foundation. This is such a beautiful foundation. I find that it gives me just such a gorgeous finish on my skin. It doesn't emphasize my problem areas. It sits nicely on the skin. It has excellent coverage, which I need because I have so much redness on my face. And I think it just provides a really beautiful finish without drying out my face. And the second one is my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. This is my #1 foundation of 2017. I'm wearing it on my face right now. It provides such good coverage, which I need, but it also has such a nice, beautiful finish. And even though it says matte and poreless, I don't feel like it's totally matte. Like, I feel like when I put it on my skin, I still have a little bit of a sheen and a little bit of a luminosity without looking like super dewy and super oily. So I really love this foundation, and this is my #1. And what's so great is that it's so inexpensive. So this foundation is like $12.99 at Shoppers Drug Mart, and this one's like 40 bucks. My Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk was $68, and that's another foundation that I have used in 2017, but I don't love it as much as these two. But I just love the price point of this foundation because foundation is something that I wear every single day and I go through it pretty quickly. So it's nice to be able to find a drugstore foundation that works really well, that's easy on the wallet. So next, moving on to setting powders. This one is my absolute favorite. I'm wearing it on my face today. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect setting powder. I find that it's really finely milled and it looks really nice on my skin. It leaves my skin feeling nice and soft. I'm wearing it right now. And it also smells amazing. And that is such a plus for me. Some people might think like, who gives a shit what a setting powder smells like? But for me, it's just like when I'm putting my makeup on in the morning and I smell this peach smell, I just love it. I don't know why. It's like so awesome. The next one I have here is this Maybelline Fit Me Loose setting powder. And again, so nice to be able to find a drugstore setting powder that's easy on the wallet, that works really well. So I wear mine in the shade 10, which is Fair Light. And what I like about the setting powder is it doesn't claim to be translucent. Like, it does have a little bit of a tint to it. So for me, when I'm setting my foundation with setting powder, it's nice to get just that little bit of extra coverage with this. It's really finely milled, it works really well, and I love using it in conjunction with the Maybelline Fit Me foundation because I find those products just from the same line work really well together. And then my third favorite, most used favorite setting powder of 2017 is the Kat Von D Lock-It setting powder. I really love this setting powder, and one of the things I totally love about it is that a little goes a long way. So this is actually not the full size. Like, if you compare it to the Peach Perfect, this is actually a smaller size. But I purchased this trial size several months ago and I still have quite a bit left in here. So I really like that I don't have to use tons of this powder to get the set look that I want. And I do find that it works really well. It holds my makeup in place and I don't get creasing and such underneath my eyes. I find that it really works well in my T-zone area. So this is an excellent setting powder and I really recommend it. Now moving on to face powders. I have two in this category and they're gonna be of no surprise to anyone because I talk about them a lot. The first is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I absolutely love this setting powder. It is so finely milled. It is so luxurious and soft on the skin, and it just gives me like this blurred, beautiful effect on my face. Now, I am by no means, when I'm talking about these products, saying that they make my face look perfect, because I obviously have texture, I have redness that pokes through. I am not saying by any means that my makeup is perfect, but it does give me the best effect that I have seen on my face so far out of everything. I really told myself that I was only gonna use this powder for special occasions because it is so hard for me to get. I got my first one when I went to London on a secondment in March, and then my bestie went to London after that and she picked me up my second one, and I've already hit pan on it and I don't know where I'm gonna get my next one from. Luckily, I have a friend that lives in Toronto that can probably go down to Nordstrom and buy one for me and ship it to me, but this is a English brand and so it's like hard for me to get where I live in Canada, but I love it so much that I just can't stop using it. So I'm gonna have to figure that out, but favorite face powder of 2017 by far. So then my second favorite and most used face powder of 2017 is this Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Compact. I bought this actually because I love the Luminous Silk foundation, so I thought, hey, well, why don't I just try their powder? The only thing I don't like about this powder is how expensive it is, and that's it. Everything else I love about it. As you can see, I've hit pan pan on this as well. This is really, really beautiful, gives a flawless finish to the skin, but it does make the claim that it provides coverage, and I do not think that it provides any coverage at all. The only way that you would get coverage out of this is if you already had a flawless face to begin with and you had zero redness and zero anything, in which case, why would you need it? So especially for someone with my skin tone, I don't think this provides any coverage, but it does set the makeup down really nice and just give your skin a really, really beautiful finish. So this is my second favorite face powder of 2017. All right, so now moving on to blushes. This is definitely my most used blush of 2017, and that is the Becca Mineral Blush. This is in the shade Flower Child, and I really, really love just the gorgeous pinky color that this is. It just gives a nice, beautiful flush to the cheeks. It's not too dark and it's not too light. It's just the perfect shade for me, and I really love the consistency of this blush. I love that it's very easy to blend and it looks really pretty on the skin. So that's definitely my most used blush of 2017, but it's not my favorite. My favorite blush of 2017 is this one, and it's by the brand Studio Makeup, and this is their Luminous Loose Blush. And I actually don't even know anything about this brand. I don't know where you can buy this. I got this in a BoxyCharm box and I just decided to try it, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I love the color and I love the fact that it's loose. So I didn't think that I would be somebody that would enjoy a loose blush, but I just take a little bit of it off of the cap and I sweep it onto my cheeks very lightly. I have to be really careful with blush because even when I put on tons of foundation, especially on a day where I'm having a flare-up with my rosacea, it can still peek through the foundation no matter how much coverage I try to put on. So I have to be careful with blush because if I put on even just a little bit too much, my cheeks can look super red. So I just want a little bit of a flush, and this product allows me to use just a little bit of blush, and I don't feel like, you know, I've had to dig my brush into a pan of pressed powder and dig up some pigment. Then when I go to sweep it on my face, it's too much. So it really lets me control how much product to use. So I really, really love this. If more brands came out with loose blushes, I'd be so, so excited. So if you know of any brands that have great loose blushes, please leave them in the comments below because I would love to try them out. This is definitely my favorite blush from 2017 and I use it every single day. And then the last blush that I'm gonna mention that was most used for 2017 is this one. This is the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso. I really love this blush on days that I'm feeling like my face is really dull. I don't always love to have a glittery finish when it comes to blush, but if my face is looking really dull or I'm looking sort of sallow, I really love this blush to sort of brighten my cheeks and give me a little bit of a luminous finish. Now, this blush does have a little bit of glitter in it, but it's so, so fine. So it's not as if you're putting sort of chunks onto your face of glitter. It just has a really beautiful luminous finish. And I love the fact that it's drugstore. I have been like so excited about great drugstore finds. I know this has probably been out for a long time and people have been talking about it forever, but I just sort of found it and started loving it this year. So I really wanted to include it in this video. If you're looking for a great luminous drugstore blush, go pick this up. All right, now moving on to bronzers. This is gonna be no shock to anybody. My favorite and most used bronzer of 2017 was this one. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I love this bronzer so much. It is the perfect shade for my skin tone. It doesn't make me look muddy. It's super blendable, which is really important because once I put my foundation on and then I start packing powders onto my face, so setting powder, face powder, bronzer, blush, by the time I get all those products onto my face, my skin can start looking really dry again. And one of the things I love about this bronzer is that it doesn't feel drying on my skin. And I think it's because it has a little bit of that muru muru butter in it. So while this is not a cream product by any means, it's not a super dry powder. So when I'm putting this bronzer on, I feel like it blends really beautifully on my skin and it doesn't cling to my dry patches, which is really nice. I'm wearing this bronzer right now and I love the fact that it's buildable. So if I'm feeling exceptionally pale, I can wear a little bit more of it. And if I'm not feeling as pale, or if I feel like I don't need as much bronzer, I don't want to wear as much bronzer, you know, I can just sweep a little bit onto my temples and I'm good to go. And as I said in one of my previous videos, this bronzer is from the drugstore, but to me, it's not like a drugstore product because I don't think it's affordable by any means. Like $20 for a bronzer of this size is like, to me, it's still a little expensive, but it is definitely worth every single penny. So even though it's not like a super affordable product, I promise you'll be so happy with the results, especially if you have a similar skin tone to mine. And my next favorite and most used bronzer of 2017 comes from this palette. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. So this palette has a gorgeous highlighter and a gorgeous bronzer in it. It looks like this. This bronzer is so perfect for my skin tone. It's just like the butter bronzer. Like I really, really love the shade of it. It doesn't make me look look muddy. It goes on beautifully. It blends like a dream. This is such a gorgeous palette, and I love the highlighter as well. It's not one of my favorite highlighters of 2017, and I'll get to those later, but it is really beautiful for somebody who is looking for a highlighter that's not as crazy blinding, like just a really sort of subtle natural glow. The highlighter's gorgeous too, but for the most part I concentrate on the bronzer, and I use this bronzer pretty much every single day up until I got the Physicians Formula one, which was way later in the year, and I still haven't hit pan on this bronzer. So it's just like a testament to the fact that a little goes a long way with this product. I don't mind spending a lot of money on products as long as they're good and worth it, and this is one of those products that, yes, is a little bit more pricey, but it is absolutely worth the money. All right, so now quickly talking about brow products. My most used brow pencil of 2017 by far was the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I absolutely love this brow pencil. It's perfect for me. It's not too creamy. It's not too dry. It's the perfect color. I love the spoolie. I love how much product you get. I love everything about it. #1 brow pencil. But a runner-up is actually this L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. I bought this brow pencil when I was doing a full face of drugstore products, and I needed a drugstore brow pencil that I hadn't used before. And this one really impressed me. And I've been using it pretty frequently since I filmed that video. And I would say that this is a decent dupe for the Anastasia Brow Wiz. It's not as good, but it is almost as good. And if you're looking for a good drugstore dupe for the Brow Wiz, I would definitely recommend this one. All right, so now moving on to my favorite product, which is eyeshadow. You guys know how much I love eyeshadow and eyeshadow palettes. I bought so many new eyeshadow palettes this year, but literally none of them compare to this one. This is the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I talked about this in my very first favorites video. I gave it away as part of my holiday giveaway of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, and it's just the perfect palette. I love it so much. I'm wearing it on my eyes right now. So I love most of the colors in this palette, but one of my favorite colors is this one right here called Jax. I'm wearing that on my eyes with a couple of other colors, but this is such a gorgeous palette. It is so useful. You can create literally any look you want. It has pops of color, it has warm tones, it has like dark mattes, it has some highlight shades, all the transition colors you would ever need. Like, it is just a perfect palette. I love it so much, and I think that this has been in a lot of people's best of beauty videos for 2017 because Jaclyn and Morphe just killed it with this one. Such a great palette. Love it so much. So another one of my favorite palettes for 2017 is the Just Peachy Mattes palette. I also gave this away as part of my holiday giveaway. I think that this palette is just really, really gorgeous. If you're a lover of warm tones, which I am, it has lots of really beautiful colors in it. I will say that, like, I didn't love these two shades as highlight shades because they weren't very pigmented. So I do have to use another palette if I want like a brow highlight and an inner corner highlight, but these are perfect as like setting your lid for like an all over sort of wash of color before you lay your transition shades down. And just these colors all together, they all look so, so good. It is a great palette for traveling. It's a great palette if you just love straight matte eye looks, and I love it, so it's definitely one of my favorite palettes of 2017. Now moving on to the coveted third spot in my favorite eyeshadow palettes of 2017. If I had to pick one that was made by a brand, it would be the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. You saw that in my holiday giveaway video. But since I don't really have a category for single eyeshadows, I wanted to give this third spot to my Custom Z palette. I absolutely love this palette that I created for myself, and when I'm not using the Jaclyn Hill palette, I'll reach for this one and create a look with the shadows that I've put in here. This palette has absolutely every single one of my favorite shadows. Soft brown here I use constantly throughout the year. I love Anastasia Pink Champagne. Some other favorites are Bitten by Makeup Geek, Hot Chocolate, Vermeer, a couple from ColourPop. Like, this palette has all of my favorite single shadows in it. And I did see that a lot of you did request for me to do a video dedicated to my Custom Z palette, talk about all the colors in here, swatch them, and how I use them. So I do have that on my list to film, and I will be filming it very soon, so keep on the lookout for that. So next I do want to talk about glitters, and glitters get their own category because glitter was huge in 2017, and that excites me a lot because I freaking love glitter. Everybody's been talking about these, and this should be no surprise to anybody that my favorite glitters from 2017 are these Stila Magnificent Metals Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadows. The ones that I have are in the shades Diamond Dust and Kitten Karma. I'm wearing Kitten Karma on my lid right now. I just think it is such a beautiful, beautiful glitter. I really want Stila to come out with more colors in this line, especially on the lighter end of things, because this could completely replace loose glitters in my makeup collection. I don't like putting glitter glue on my eyelids. It's sticky, it's hard to use, and you have to really make sure that you are careful and you use it properly. properly. And these are just so easy. You sweep it onto your lid, you buff out the edges, and it stays. It is such a great product. So I really, really hope that they come out with more colors. They do have some darker ones that I just wouldn't use, but I tend to go for a lighter eyelid. So if they came out with like a white one and like a really light purple one, I would be all over that. And then another glitter product that I wanted to quickly mention is this one. This is MAC Reflex Pearl. This is a really beautiful glitter and it's more subtle, so you can wear a lot of this without looking like you're super blingy on the eyes. It's a white glitter, so it's not as obvious as like a gold or silver, but still is really reflective and looks really beautiful on the eyes. And it's really, really pretty. I love to use it with like pink eyeshadows and like purple eyeshadows and any of those like colors in the pastel family. So this is a really, really beautiful glitter, especially if you're not somebody that wants to wear anything that's too bold. You will really like this. So now moving to liner and lashes. I don't want to spend too much time on these products because you guys see me use these products literally in every single video, so they're not going to be a surprise. My favorite liner of 2017 is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. Another one that I really love is this e.l.f. Intense Ink Liner Pen. I think that this is such a great dupe for the Kat Von D liner. This is so black and so pigmented, and it's really, really inexpensive. So I think it's like $4 or $6 at the drugstore. It's even less in the States, and it is a really, really good liner pen. And then for mascara, duh, it goes without saying, Better Than Sex and Lash Paradise. These are my favorite mascaras of 2017. My favorite mascaras of all time. I don't think anything will touch these in a very long time unless they come out with some like magical new mascara, but these are definitely my two favorites. And actually, instead of pitting them against each other, I've actually let their powers combine. So I use these together instead of trying to decide which one I love the most. So I use the Better Than Sex first to go in and really darken and lengthen my lashes. And then I'll go in with the Lash Paradise wand and I will wiggle it at the base of my lashes and then brush upwards. And that gives me more volume and more depth and dimension to my lashes. So I was like trying to decide which one of these two mascaras was my favorite, but used together, totally awesome. So now moving on to lashes. My favorite lashes and my most used lashes from 2017 were by Velour. My favorite style was the style Wing Woman, and I wore them constantly throughout 2017, but then they kind of got a little bit grungy and sticky, and like they had a lot of glue on them and they were just like frayed and sort of past their point. I went to go and buy more pairs from the Velour website and I saw that that style was gone. It was very upsetting, but I did pick up another pair of lashes that they sell at Sephora. These are silk lashes and not mink lashes, but they are so soft and so beautiful and wispy. These are in the style Lie Detector, and I'm wearing Lie Detector right now, and I think that they are such a beautiful lash. And really surprisingly fluffy and wispy for not being mink, for being silk. So I'm really impressed with this lash, and I've actually worn this particular pair of lashes about 6 times now, which is definitely a record for me when it comes to wearing lashes, because I had such a hard time taking care of them and making sure that I could like reuse them over and over. Like they just got so covered in glue and I was like ripping them off, and I wasn't, you know, I was trying to pick the glue off with my nail and I would pull out lashes, and it was just a bad situation. But I've been a lot more careful with this particular pair. They are stronger, I feel like, and like more durable in the band, so that really helps. But I'm really excited about the durability of these lashes and the fact that they've lasted me so long and they're still in really great condition. And then my other favorite lashes are from the drugstore. So these are the Kiss lashes, and these are in the style 03. And these are the lashes that I wear when I want more of a subtle look. So these lashes are not too crazy dramatic or anything. They just add a little bit of length and a little bit of wispiness to my eyes when I want sort of more of a dramatic look than mascara, but I don't want to go too crazy with like the caterpillar lash. So these are really nice lash to wear when you're looking for more of a natural glam. And then of course my other favorite and most used lash of 2017 are these Ardell Demi Wispies. These are really, really beautiful. The only thing is that I don't wear them too often because they are a cat eye lash, and I tend to look better in the style of lash that is longer in the middle. But these are still really beautiful, really wispy, and I think they're like $6 at the drugstore. So excellent value for a really, really nice, flattering lash. All right, so now moving on to my second favorite makeup product, which is highlighter. My favorite highlighter of 2017 has to be this one. This is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek formula. This is in the shade Flexitarian. I'm wearing this on my face right now. It is such a beautiful blinding highlighter, so flattering. I love the consistency of it too. It's like sort of cream and sort of powder, really blendable, really, really beautiful. I would have to say my most used highlighter of 2017 is Champagne Pop by Becca. This is a split pan that I have that has Becca Flower Child blush on top and Champagne Pop on the bottom. This is such a gorgeous highlighter, universally flattering. I feel like it doesn't emphasize texture. The only thing I will say is that Becca highlighters shatter so easily. So I happened to accidentally drop this, and when I went to go pick it up, I was just saying a prayer that it didn't all shatter, because if the blush mixed in with the highlighter, it would be completely not salvageable. But I guess somewhat luckily, only the highlight side shattered, so I was able to use my technique that I used to sort of press powders back into place, and now it's fine again. Let me know if you want a video on how to fix shattered makeup and the techniques that I use, because it has helped me a lot to be able to save makeup that has broken on me so that I didn't have to throw it out. But I have had now 3 Becca products drop and shatter, so that's my Becca Opal highlighter, my Becca Pearl highlighter, and now this one. So you have to be really, really careful with Becca highlighters, because they're really, really fragile, and if you drop it, it will probably shatter. So just make sure that you're really careful with it when you have it in your hands. And then the last highlighting product that I want to mention is this one. This is the Sleek Solstice highlighting palette. I love this so much. I got this from Ulta, and you can see it in my Ulta haul video, and I've been using it pretty consistently since then. It is so, so beautiful. I really, really love this yellowy tinted highlighter to use as an inner corner highlight shade in the place of like my MAC Nylon or my Anastasia Soft Gold. These 2 shades are so beautiful on the face. So right now I'm wearing the pink one underneath ColourPop Flexitarian. I don't really touch this one because it's a cream product, and I suck at cream products. Like, I don't know how to use them, and like anything that's not foundation, I'm just like, oh my god, like I don't know how. But the other 3 products in this palette are so, so beautiful, and this is like sort of what people would consider a drugstore and affordable palette. I think it was about $19 Canadian. Super worth it for the 3 shades that I do use in here. So I'd highly recommend this one as well. So now moving on to lip products, I'm gonna talk about lip glosses first. And my favorite lip gloss of 2017 is this one. This is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Universal Lip Luminizer. I absolutely love this gloss. It is not sticky. It has a great formula, and it has a really, really nice color. So it's not completely nude. It has a little bit of a tint to it, but it's a great color. I think it's super flattering. One of my favorite ways to wear this gloss is to put MAC Subculture Lip Pencil on and then just sweep this gloss over top. I'm actually wearing that combination on my lips right now. I really, really love this gloss, and I think that like Rihanna killed it with the whole Fenty line. Like, so many great products, and this is definitely one of my favorites. And then my most used lip gloss of 2017 is this one, and as you can see, it's almost completely gone. This is the MAC Mineralized Glass in the shade Modest, and again, I really love this lip gloss because it's not too sticky. It has a really nice formula. It gives your lips a lot of shine without being like gloppy and goopy on the lips, and it has a really beautiful color. So these are definitely my 2 favorite glosses of 2017. And then moving on to liquid lipsticks, my favorite and most used liquid lipstick of 2017 was this one. This is the Anastasia liquid lipstick in the shade American Doll, just a really beautiful red color. But I also used Kylie Cosmetics Mary a lot. This is from her holiday collection, not this year, but in 2016 that she released. I love this color, and I think it's beautiful, and I like that it's a darker red. But I think with the Kylie Cosmetics, my only beef is that they're sort of drying on the lips, and they can get kind of crumbly and cracky after like a few hours, so they're not super long wearing. But I really love this color, and I love the formula for a short amount of time. And then the last one I want to talk about that was one of my favorites from 2017 is the Fenty Beauty Stunna Lip Paint. This is such a gorgeous formula. It is such a beautiful color. I love the wand. I love the packaging. Like, this is such a nice, gorgeous liquid lipstick. As you can see, my favorite liquid lipsticks were all red. I am trying to branch out and try other colors of liquid lipsticks, but I don't like drawing attention to my mouth that much, and if I'm gonna be experimenting with different colors, it's usually with eyeshadow. So if I'm not wearing like a nude gloss, it's usually red lipstick. But if anybody has any suggestions on colors that I should try or anything like that, please leave them down in the comments below. I would love to know what your favorite liquid lipsticks are and what your favorite shades are, so that I can pick up a couple of new colors and experiment more with different lip colors in 2018. And now moving on to the last category, which is setting sprays. With this category, it was an absolute no-brainer. Some of my other categories, I had to think like, oh, which products did I use the most in 2017? Which ones were my favorite? And like kind of go through my collection and pick out the ones that I thought I reached for the most. But in this category, it was an absolute no-brainer. conditioner. My favorite and most used setting spray is the Urban Decay All Nighter. I have gone through probably 2 full ones of this in 2017 and I'm on to a third. This is just my favorite setting spray. It works the best. It really makes me feel like my skin is getting a boost of hydration when I spray this on. And as I said before, it can be kind of difficult for me because I have really dry cheeks. So I put a moisturizer on, I put a hydrating primer, I put my foundation, and then when I start to layer the powder products on, it can feel like my skin is being drained of its moisture and it's getting really dry. I love this setting spray for the fact that I can spray it onto my face and it sets down those powders and it makes me feel like I'm getting my hydration back. So I really love this setting spray and it does last absolutely all day. It definitely is the best setting spray that I have tried that keeps my foundation looking like I just applied it for the longest amount of time. And then a couple of honorable mentions in this category. I have loved the Milani Make It Last setting spray as well. I bought this when I was doing my full face of drugstore products and I've actually gone through about half of it already. This is also a really good setting spray and I love that the mist doesn't make you feel like you've gotten a water gun to the face. So it's like really good setting spray and it does make my makeup last as well. I don't love it as much as the Urban Decay All Nighter, but in a pinch I would definitely use this one in its place. And the last one that I've really enjoyed is this Glam Glow Glow Setter setting spray, and I think what I like the most about this setting spray is that the mist is really fine. So when I've spent a lot of time meticulously putting my makeup on, sometimes when you put a setting spray on, it can kind of like move the products around on your face a little bit. So having a really fine mist is really important when you want to make sure that your makeup is just going to stay exactly where you put it. And I also love the smell of this setting spray too, which is like, again, kind of a weird thing to say, but smells are really important to me. I'm going to be spraying something all over my face. I want to make sure that it smells good and I'm not going to be like choking on the scent. So yeah, this is like probably my third most used setting spray of 2017 as well. And that is it, you guys, for my favorite and most used products of 2017. So as I said in the beginning of this video, I used all of my #1 favorite products from each category on my face to create the look that I'm wearing right now. And I will put all of the information in the description box below about all of my favorite #1s. But if you would like to see a tutorial on this look that I created, particularly how I achieved this eye look, please let me know in the comments down below. I would be happy to film that for you. And if you have any other requests for videos, please let me know. I'm always trying to make sure that my subscribers are enjoying my content. So if there's something you want to see or a product you want me to review, just leave it down in the comments and I will be happy to add it to my list of videos that I want to film. And as always, guys, if you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment down below letting me know the kind of videos you want to see me do in the future. And if you didn't like this video, keep that shit to yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.